Welcome to our channel Minutes Audiobook. Today we diving into The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, book. Please subscribe for daily videos. Introduction of the book. The introduction of The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg sets the stage for understanding how habits shape our lives, both personally and professionally. Duhigg explains that habits are not only a fundamental part of our daily routines but are also powerful forces that influence behavior on a much larger scale. He introduces the concept of the habit loop, which consists of three components: the cue, trigger, the routine, behavior, and the reward. This loop is the foundation of habit formation and change. Duhigg uses examples, such as the story of how Febreze was created, to illustrate how habits can be harnessed in both individual and business contexts. He explains how understanding the mechanics of habits can lead to more intentional control over them, whether it's quitting smoking, improving productivity, or transforming entire organizations. The introduction emphasizes that habits are not inherently good or bad, rather, it's how we manage and change them that matters. The book promises to uncover the science behind habits and offer practical insights into how we can transform them to improve our lives. Chapter 1: The Habit Loop. Summary: the first chapter introduces the concept of the habit loop, a neurological pattern that governs all habits. The habit loop consists of three parts. Cue, trigger, base signal that starts the habit, e.g., feeling stressed, time of day. Routine, behavior, the behavior that follows the cue, e.g., eating junk food, smoking. Reward, the positive feeling or outcome that reinforces the behavior, e.g., pleasure, relief. Story/example. Duhigg opens with the story of Angie Bachman, a woman who developed an uncontrollable habit of eating chocolate after feeling stressed. Researchers discovered that Bachman's behavior was driven by the habit loop, where the cue, stress, triggered her routine, eating chocolate, and the reward, pleasure, reinforced the habit. Understanding this loop is key to changing habits. Key insight. Habits are ingrained because they occur automatically in the brain once formed, and understanding this loop is the first step to changing behaviors. Chapter 2: The Craving Brain. Summary: this chapter delves deeper into the neuroscience of habits, explaining how the brain craves rewards, which is what strengthens the habit loop over time. The more pleasurable the reward, the stronger the craving and the more automatic the behavior becomes. Story/example. Duhigg uses the example of Pepsodent toothpaste. In the early 20th century, the company created a marketing campaign around the sensation of a tingling, clean feeling after brushing. The tingling feeling became a reward, which reinforced the habit of brushing teeth. Key insight. Habits are driven by cravings for rewards, which shape behavior and solidify patterns in the brain. A key to habit change is manipulating the craving and reward system. Chapter 3: The Golden Rule of Habit Change. Summary: Duhigg introduces the concept of the golden rule of habit change, which is that you cannot eliminate a habit, you can only change it by substituting the old routine with a new one, while keeping the same cue and reward. Story/example. He uses the example of Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, to demonstrate how people can change addictive behaviors by replacing their old routine, drinking, with a new one, attending meetings and engaging in fellowship. The cue, stress or social situations, and the reward, relief or social approval, remain the same, but the routine changes. Key insight. To change a habit, substitute the routine, not the cue or the reward. This shift allows for lasting change in behavior. Chapter 4: Keystone Habits, or the Ballad of Paul O'Neill. Summary: the focus here is on keystone habits, which are habits that have a ripple effect and influence other areas of life. Changing one keystone habit can cause a cascade of changes that impact other habits. Story/example. Duhigg tells the story of Paul O'Neill, the CEO of Alcoa. O'Neill focused on one keystone habit: worker safety. By making safety a priority, employee morale improved, productivity increased, and overall performance at Alcoa improved. Key insight. Keystone habits are central to achieving broader change, and organizations can experience profound transformations by focusing on one important habit that leads to other improvements. Chapter 5, Starbucks and the Habit of Success. Summary: this chapter explores how Starbucks teaches its employees to use habits to foster success. The company trains employees to handle difficult situations by creating specific routines that encourage calm and efficient behavior. Story/example. Starbucks uses a specific latte method to teach employees to manage customer interactions with empathy and efficiency. This habit of handling stressful situations leads to better customer service and employee satisfaction. Key insight. Organizations can create a culture of success by training employees in specific routines that help them manage challenges effectively. Chapter 6, The Power of a Crisis. Summary: crisis situations can catalyze habit change, especially when the crisis prompts a shift in behavior that leads to better organizational habits. Story/example. Duhigg examines Pasta and Pizza, a company that improved its operations during a crisis by focusing on improving customer service. The crisis forced the company to change key processes and develop new habits. Key insight. Crises can force organizations to re-examine their routines and develop new habits. The urgency of a crisis creates an environment conducive to change. Chapter 7, How Target Knows What You Want Before You Do. Summary: this chapter explores how companies like Target use data to understand consumer habits and predict future behavior. By analyzing buying patterns, companies can trigger specific habits in consumers. Story/example. Target uses data analytics to predict when customers are likely to be pregnant, based on shopping habits. Target sends targeted ads and offers that cater to the specific needs of these customers, creating habits of frequent shopping at Target. Key insight. Understanding consumer habits and triggers enables companies to influence behavior and create customer loyalty. The key is identifying cues that lead to purchasing habits. Chapter 8, Saddleback Church and the Habits of Social Change. Summary: Duhigg shifts to exploring the role of habits in social movements, explaining how groups can create habits that lead to larger societal changes. Story/example. The story of Saddleback Church and its leader Rick Warren is used to show how churches can build community and encourage social change through the creation of positive habits. By focusing on habits like small group meetings and helping others, social change is driven through shared habits. Key insight. Social change is often driven by the spread of new habits. When a large group adopts a habit, it can change societal norms. Chapter 9, The Neurology of Free Will. Summary: this chapter addresses the question of free will and how much control we have over our habits. It focuses on the role of decision-making in habit change and how the brain responds to new behaviors. Story/example. Duhigg discusses the brain's automatic responses to habits and how, even when we are not conscious of it, our brains are making decisions that reinforce habits. The key to change is learning how to rewire the brain to make better decisions. Key insight. Free will is not entirely free when it comes to habits. Much of our behavior is automatic. However, by understanding how habits work, we can take steps to reshape our decisions. Chapter 10, The Power of Habit in Society. Summary: in the final chapter, Duhigg examines how habits shape society and culture at large, influencing everything from politics to religion. Story/example. He uses the civil rights movement as an example of how new social habits can lead to profound societal changes. The decision to sit at the front of the bus, made by Rosa Parks, sparked a movement and led to new societal habits around racial equality. Key insight. Societal changes often begin with the creation of new habits that challenge existing norms. These changes take root when enough individuals adopt new behaviors. Conclusion: the importance of habits. In the conclusion, Duhigg summarizes the key takeaways from the book and reaffirms the importance of understanding the habit loop and how to apply it to change behaviors. He encourages readers to identify the habits that govern their lives and take control of them. In the conclusion of The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg reflects on the profound impact habits have on individuals, organizations, and societies. He emphasizes that by understanding how habits work, through the loop of cue, routine, and reward, we can transform our lives by changing or creating habits intentionally. Duhigg stresses that while habits are automatic, they are also malleable. With effort and awareness, we can reshape our habits and, by extension, change our behaviors and outcomes. He shares a key insight: the process of habit change is not easy, and it requires perseverance. However, understanding the golden rule of habit change, that you can't extinguish a bad habit, but you can replace it with a new one, can be a powerful tool for lasting transformation. By identifying the cues that trigger bad habits and replacing the routines with more productive or beneficial behaviors, people can create positive change. Duhigg concludes with the idea that habits are not just individual phenomena but are deeply embedded in the fabric of organizations and societies. He offers hope that, collectively, society can also change by leveraging the power of habits, creating healthier and more effective systems. Ultimately, the conclusion reinforces the central message of the book, that understanding and controlling our habits is a critical tool for improving our lives, both on a personal and societal level. Through small, incremental changes, we have the ability to reshape our future. Thank you for watching. Keep support for daily videos. Make sure like, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe our channel Minutes Audiobook. See you on the next video.